Hey, it's Cody from the Keeper's Nerdum. How are you all? I need to talk to you guys really quickly about a couple things. One, this is actually my dueling lightsaber. Side note, I believe we got this from Rebel Sabers, and I highly recommend them. What's funny was I was going to turn it on and power it on, but it's not broken. It's just not charged, and that's the one thing you just have to keep in mind is you got to charge these things because they drain a lot of power to give you the awesome special effects that they are capable of. So just keep that in mind. It's a thing that's pretty cool, but I think it's an interesting almost metaphor for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series at this point. That this show is well, okay. Let's just get really real. I was trying to be really positive, trying to give a good take on it, just trying to be like, hey, this is the thing that it could be amazing and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I was hand waving away some of the things that were problems, and now I'm just okay. Let me just be really frank. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. It's sad. It's stupid. Star Wars has been on such a random, pointless tear for so long. We had some good moments with The Mandalorian giving us actual story and content that mattered. And then the Book of Boba Fett completely hosed everything. Just so you know, guys, this is going to have spoilers for every Disney Star Wars shenanigan. So first off, let's start back though. The Disney sequel series is terrible. It's not good storytelling. It's storytelling that just poops on everything that came before it. It's just disgusting. It's stupid. It's gross. It's not good stuff because it dishonors anything that came before. Simple example: Darth Vader sacrificed to kill the Emperor. He's the chosen one, if you will, and bring balance to the Force. Now they just said in the sequel series, it doesn't matter. It's actually someone else, and we're totally going to disregard these movies that had such a core following. Stupid. And Rey is just super powerful for no reason. Also stupid. Luke Skywalker is going to try to kill a student in his sleep because of dreams he had, and yet in the prequels or the original trilogy, he's looking at his dad in Return of the Jedi going, I know there's still good in you, I can sense it. No, it's stupid. The only moment in those films that makes a lick of sense that really truly connects back to the old stuff is when Luke is getting the blue milk because he is a farm boy, and everybody's like, oh, that's the grossest scene in the whole movie. No, that's the only accurate part of any of those films that makes an actual lick of sense because he's a farm kid. That's stuff he would do. Only thing. Stupid. So then we get to Mandalorian, and Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau do a pretty stinking awesome job of giving us Star Wars that actually connects to stuff, but also is telling a new story. And also we don't have a perfect character. We have a flawed character. That's the trick with it. Having flawed characters, having things that they have to develop from, but it's also, you have to be careful with this because when you make flaws for no good reason other than we want to tear down someone and then build them back up, that can be done really, really well. But it's when it's certain things that you go, these don't make sense, and I'll get to that with Obi-Wan. That's where it gets complicated. So, Book of Boba Fett, for example, just made me so frustrated watching it. We've got the Vespa crew with their stupid scooters and chase scenes that are lame as all get out. And then Boba Fett going, I'm going to be a crime boss that doesn't rule by fear but respect. You're a crime boss. A crime boss. Live it or don't. But if you don't, you're going to die. And you only didn't die because plot armor. Literal plot armor. Like, that's the moments where you realize just how much Star Wars tries to just go, no, that we're just going to give them plot armor. It reminds me of the Mortal Kombat movie where they literally give a character actual plot armor. But you just see this stuff where he's stupid. And it's Finnick behind the scenes making most of the decisions to make sense of everything. You're like, why is Fett even in this? I don't get it. What's the point? It's so dumb. So That all that to say, Rogue One actually I really really enjoyed. Why? Well, the characters aren't necessarily the strongest characters, but there's a good story there, and they actually go through some growth without just being entirely hollow. There's some that are not great character development, but it works because it's actually a darker story that they got to the core of like Star Wars, that it's good versus evil, and it's loss and it's pain and it's suffering. And that's what's funny. It's like when you get to Obi-Wan, those are the elements that they're relying on, and you're like, okay, this is going to go well. This is good. Awesome. We are going to have a great show here. And then when they make one of the most decorated Jedi Masters that we know of, that has done amazing things, a 5-pound weakling, a joke, one that a 10-year-old girl has to tell him what to do, and he's like, no, don't do that, and never just force grabs her and be like, sit down, and just goes along with it. This is silly. And it just gets sillier and sillier, and I was hand waving away until it got to the point where I'm like, I can't anymore. And then going back and evaluating, I'm like, no, it's not good. Solo was another one that it wasn't a terrible movie. In fact, I've kind of enjoyed that film, but it's not a film that is remembered well. I don't know what else to say about that one right now, but Obi-Wan, the first thing we have is just he's tortured and he's wrecked by this, which totally could have been an amazing thing, but you have to be very careful. Him and Vader should not directly meet, so that way they can't fight. But they do. And when they do, it's the worst fight ever, and it shows that Obi-Wan is terrible. Like, he's lost all skill. You're like, so you're here to defend Luke and watch over Luke, but you don't have the capability of defending Luke from anything, according to what we're showing here. It's been 9-10 years, and you have no skills to defend the person that you're supposed to be there protecting. Okay. And then he's slowly getting better and better and stronger with just, it's this Doctor Strange thing all over again, and this Captain Marvel of just believe in yourself, and it'll be great, it'll be good. And that's so stupid. If you're going to have character growth, have them, it's a process of healing and stuff, and like I think that's what they're trying to go for, but it's the problem of the other things around it that make it worse. It's like, just because of his grief would not make him a bad lightsaber wielder. If he cut himself off from the Force and we had acknowledgement of that, it's a little different. But we don't. And we have Leia, who tells him what to do, and he just kind of does it. He'll disagree with her, but then he'll just go along with it. And he's just dumb. Like, he's legit stupid in the show, where he'll make mistakes. He'll just go along with other people. He'll jump right into the middle of danger for no other reason than he's like, I have to protect Leia. Which, side note, he leaves Luke. He leaves Luke to go protect Leia. It's like, I have to be here to protect him. If they'd even put in some lines of Bail Organa saying, I will make sure that he is safe, that would at least help. I mean, it still wouldn't have been great, because it's like, how much reassurance is that if you lost Leia, you're kind of failing at your job anyway. Then we have Leia with the little chase scene through the woods at the very beginning of the show. It's terrible when they can't catch her. Some people actually defend you like, yeah, you've never tried to catch a 5-year-old. She's running like she's 3. This should not have happened. This is dumb. It's dumb. And then we get to episode 3, and there's a few major issues that are just puzzling. One, that's where Obi-Wan messes up. He beats like 4 or 5 troopers and kills them. He can't figure out how to get past the laser gate without shooting it, which is hilarious. And then as soon as an officer and 3 troopers roll up, he surrenders. And you're like, you just beat 4 or 5. Why is this a thing? Why are you surrendering to these 3? Get your lightsaber out and cut them. What are you doing? And then, okay, so the officer lady's actually a rebel in disguise, whatever she wants to really call herself. And then, towards the end of the episode, we've got him and Vader face off with the worst lightsaber fight you've ever seen. I mean, it makes A New Hope look like the most epic lightsaber fight ever. And that's a slow lightsaber fight because it was the first one we've ever seen. Which is sad whenever that's the one that you're going to make it look really good. It's terrible. And then Darth Vader pulls him through fire. Be like, you're going to feel what I feel. I'm like, this is awesome. Okay, cool. Like, he's going to torture him, even though this fight shouldn't happen. It's going to be a really cool looking thing. And then he snuffs out the fire, getting ready to grab Obi-Wan. He's like, your torture is just beginning. And then the rebel officer lady, she shoots the stuff and lights the fire back on. The droid goes and gets Obi-Wan, and Vader just stands there. The troopers just stand there. They don't do anything about Obi-Wan. They might fire at her, I believe, but what the heck? Who is writing this? Who's directing this stuff? It's Darth Vader, who just made the fire happen and force pulled him through it. He can't snuff it back out again like he already did? Come on. That's dumb. And I wasn't even that big of a deal at first, because if you see my earlier video, I didn't care that much. But now you go back and think about it, especially after this episode that we just saw, it's so stupid. He's not going to grab that droid and rip him apart? Why not? He has what he wants. He's been looking for Obi-Wan this whole time. Obi-Wan is apparently disabled at this point. So, alright. So then, at the end of that episode, somehow Reva finds Leia at the end of a tunnel. She knows exactly where she's going to end up. No. That's not how this works. And she's already killed the guy that Leia was waiting for, and she knows. How? How does she know? Don't know. Because somebody, you could maybe say, oh, she has the Force to sense where they are. But she can't even read Leia's mind later on, even though she's already done mind reading at the beginning of the show. In the alleyway with that fake Jedi guy. We know she can do it, and now she can't. Doesn't make sense. So stupid. So there's no good explanation of how she found that into that passageway. And so then, okay, they capture Leia and they take her to the crazy almost Mustafar, but on a water planet thing that we've seen from Jedi Fallen Order. Great game, by the way, right? Really great game. Really great game. That's how you do Star Wars well. You have characters that are hurting and suffering, and Obi-Wan's supposed to be guarding Luke. I get that you want Ewan McGregor to be Obi-Wan. I get that, and it's awesome to see him again, but he shouldn't be meeting Vader. He should not. It's stupid. And so then, okay, they basically say, like, this base is impenetrable. And then they penetrate it like it's nothing. The rebel officer chick, she's just like, I'm coming in here. And he goes, your credentials are for a different sector. And then she goes, you don't want me to report you to the third sister, do you? And he just lets her in. Check the freaking credentials. Just check them. I know we've seen this in Star Wars before, but it's a joke. Okay, it's a joke at this point, and not a funny one. It's stupid. And I wouldn't be that upset if it wasn't because of how many other upsetting things happen in this episode. Like, we see so many times where they say this is an impenetrable base. It's not impenetrable. This is the easiest base to get into and out of ever, apparently. So we see that there's TIE fighters that are zooming around at the beginning of the shot. Somehow Obi-Wan has landed on this planet without being detected and swims into it. Okay, fine. So whatever. He gets in, he's sneaking around, which that's all right, whatever, except for the fact that security cameras, we're just going to say that there's nothing in here. I get it, it's Star Wars. Death Star didn't really have it, I guess, but still, it's just kind of silly. Obi-Wan finally starts getting back to powerful, rescues Leia, but then we see, like, as the officer rebel lady, she slaps a stormtrooper and knocks him over while he has a helmet on. Because yes, open hand slapping is going to knock that person over. Right. And, like, potentially knock them out. Okay. Are we saying these helmets are literally paper? Because apparently that's what they are. Joke again. Now, the thing that really gets it, just totally throws it off, is two parts to a scene, right? One, they're trying to smuggle Leia out, and they're walking amongst everybody in the base. Towards what? Don't know. Potentially there's a plan. And he's in a trench coat with Leia, but like off to the side or between his legs, trying to walk her and hide her through this. And nobody notices him as he's walking through 100+ stormtroopers and officers in a trench coat. It's so stupid. It's like, okay, we get that sometimes stormtroopers can be a little not smart, but I'm pretty sure one stormtrooper is going to look slightly down and go, that human has 4 legs. 4 legs. Okay? And so then, earlier on in the episode, they say, the space is impenetrable. Nobody's noticed that there's a thing, that's got 4 legs, it's human. And then, out of nowhere comes 2 speeders. And when I first saw it, I didn't think anything. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. They've got something like this. There are no defenses for this. There's nothing to stop this. We saw TIE fighters earlier. Where are those? None are shown. None chase these speeders. The only way one of the speeders dies is because one of the Inquisitors throws a battery pack at him. Which, okay, that makes sense. It's cool. But where are the TIE fighters? Where are the defenses? You were seriously just going to let them go and it not look suspicious as heck? This is stupid. This is stupid. And then Vader shows up, is going to choke her. Like, shows up like instantly. Like, so it's not been... I'm guessing it's supposed to be like hours, but it almost feels like it's been 5 minutes. Like Vader wasn't there, but he could get there in 5 minutes. It's like, as soon as you hear the alarm bells, wouldn't you be already there, apparently? I don't know. It's just stupid. Maybe he was already headed there, but it just seems dumb. Seems dumb that Vader wouldn't be there anyway if he's gone, oh, Leia will actually get Obi-Wan to show up, so I'm going to be there waiting. So stupid. Such a stupid show. So then he's choking out Reva and about to kill her and doesn't for any good reason. Like, there is no good reason why he doesn't kill her, and then lets go of her neck for a second to let her talk, and she says, I've got a tracker on them, and then lets her down. It's like, you kill people like this for this kind of failure all the time. We have seen it over and over and over again, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, I guess it's the third sister, so I'm not gonna just kill her right away after you've already failed. And he already warned her that if you fail again, you're dead. Stupid. So, the tracker's in the little droid, and the droid has a different colored eye now. Yeah, because Leia wouldn't notice that. First thing she would say, because apparently she's like the genius of the show, she'd turn to Obi-Wan and go, why's my droid got a red eye instead of a blue eye? I don't know. Maybe it's a thing. Don't know. It's so stupid stuff. Like, it's dumb. It's just dumb. It's like my lightsaber. It's like they just didn't plug it in and charge it. They just didn't plug in the right people to, like, be charged up and ready to go. Why didn't they get Jon Favreau? Why didn't they get Dave Filoni to do some of this stuff? Because, my gosh. Obi-Wan can be tortured about Anakin, but not be a pansy. You don't have to have every guy in your shows lately be pansies for no reason. It's stupid. Why was Boba Fett... Why did he act like he was almost mentally handicapped? And I wish I was joking about that. I'm not. He actually acts like that. It does not make sense. There are moments where he stands around in his own show and other people are discussing what to do and he's just like, let's do that. Let's do that one. And you're like, I feel like your IQ has dropped to the point of you are actually challenged. And I'm not meaning any disrespect for anybody of that IQ level. It's more of just the fact that they wrote him so poorly. And then Obi-Wan, he acts like this as well, where he just does dumb decisions. He goes, I must save Leia. But then does it in dumb ways, or things just are silly. I don't really have high hopes for this show after this episode. And it made me go back and reconsider everything I saw of waving away of like, no, it'll get better. No, that was bad. That was really bad. There were some cool moments in this episode. But then it had such dumb moments that you go, I think even little kids are going to start figuring this out pretty quick going, how'd they not see that guy? That's stupid. Like, we have people writing Star Wars right now that have no earthly clue other than Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni what Star Wars is supposed to be about. You can write tortured characters. You could write a tortured Obi-Wan, but don't just make him a pansy for no reason. He was one of the best negotiators of the Jedi Order. He was one of the best combatants of the Jedi Order as far as what we saw, other than, some of the Grand Master kind of trained people. He could take them on at least for a while and survive. And now we're like, he's face to face with Vader. And some people in the comments would be like, oh, he's just wrecked with guilt. He can't handle it. Come on. He was also wrecked with guilt in Revenge of the Sith, and he fought him. Don't give me that crap. He fought him already. And he beat him. He can be beaten by Vader. Don't have a problem with that. But if you're going to give me a fight, don't give me a thing where he's barely able to put his lightsaber up like, I can't block it. That's so stupid. If they had even said a line of he'd cut himself off from the Force to hide himself, it would have helped. Made more sense. But they didn't. There's my rant. I think you guys just should know that I don't recommend this show. For the people that love Ewan McGregor, they're going to have a fun time seeing him again. For people that love lightsabers, it'll be fun to see him again-ish. But it's not good. It's just junk masquerading as Star Wars. Anyway, sorry to be so negative, but I think it's time that we take a good hard look at Disney Star Wars just writing dumb characters. Dumb characters. And what really makes me mad, okay, this is a super important side note. Star Wars has had so many strong female characters that have been written well before this that have also had weakness. That's made them interesting and fantastic to study. We had Princess Leia at the very beginning, and she was pretty overly confident about her ideas and her plans. We've had Ahsoka, who nobody liked at the very beginning because she was a spoiled little brat, and they wrote her like that intentionally to have her develop into this more mature person, ironically being raised by Anakin. We've had Padme. We've had Bastila. We have had Kreia. We have had awesome female leads in games and stories. And I know Bastila and Kreia aren't necessarily leads, but yet they're the focus in so many ways of like some of those games. I just wish they figure out that it's okay to have your characters have flaws and to write them as such, but don't just write certain stereotypes or character types or even genders as dumb. That doesn't help your case. When you write one side of the story is completely without flaws and amazing, and the other side is terrible and stupid and all this, you're not helping your case. You're actually making yourself more hated and it's so silly. Like, I want these characters, again, to be what they should be. And it's just not. I don't know. What do you guys think of Obi-Wan? Tell me in the comments below. Bye.